everyone. We are here with Martin Diaz-Duluas, and he's a product owner of Logius, providing services for the Netherlands government. And he's member of our advisory board, and I'm here to make an interview with him to explore some of the important challenges his company and himself are facing in the adoption and usage of modern cloud solution. So my first question, Martin, is you work for public administration, and of course, they have a particular interest toward cloud adoption, and you clearly have an understanding of what are the additional elements that you would like industry in Europe to develop to better support digital transformation in your area.
Yes, correct, Federico. A couple of years ago, the container technology became like the gold technology for future applications, but also newer applications are being developed on in a cloud native way. But yeah, we're using private cloud, and it comes also with challenges. So it's not a silver bullet. You discover new challenges, knowledge-wise, but also for the components, for the teams. They have to learn also new ways of using this technology. And if you look at the goal for the H Cloud project, it's very interesting to learn more about the vision of federated cloud computing in Europe.
Thank you very much, Martin. In one of our previous conversation, you mentioned how it is important for you also building more common standards and the technology openness. Can you explain us why these items are important for a public administration?
Yes, it's in line, I think, also with the European vision, is to try and prevent lock-ins, to have flexibility, digital autonomy, but also openness. So we see that in the face of algorithms executing legislation, you want them to be as open as possible. I think in Holland there's also a lot of parties really proclaiming that it should be open as a democracy, and the same goes for I think the technology that we're using now in relation to cloud.
Great. In relation to the role of the European Commission to accelerate and promote the adoption of cloud computing, I think in some point in time we have been discussing about that you think that expert should be part of the EC governance planning in this respect. Can you tell us a bit more?
Yeah, we met during some sessions whereby we spoke about the possibility of federated computing. So I think that's very interesting, but I try to grasp also really hands-on what would happen there, because we are obliged by procurement rules as being a governmental body. So I wonder if should we be able to use compute or storage from other parties in the federation, or hand it out to parties. Where if you look at the platforms that we have, how would you deal then with the suppliers? That's very interesting. I think we need standards for that as well. And there's also a big question of really using it in a safe way, so that there's access and identity access management challenges. So if we really want to pursue those goals, we really have to intensify working together with all the member states involved.
Thanks a lot for this interesting vision. In relation to the role that your company is taking in supporting the digital transition for public administration, what are the core services that are important to your customers, so to say?
Well, continuity and reliability, that's the far most important thing. And we do see an increase in cyber attacks. So resilience is very, very important. And cloud can help you achieve that. So that's really the utmost goal. Where I work, we deliver solutions for digital identity, so people can identify themselves, authenticate online for a variety of digital services which are being offered in the Netherlands, which is, I believe, quite high if you compare us with maybe other countries in the world. There's over, I think, around now 900 different types of services available, which you can log in using your national digital identity. So that's really a visible product or service. What you see, another example is maybe the message box. We have a solution as well where you can have where parties, municipalities, but also the ministerial bodies can send you digital letters instead of paper letters. And one of the challenges there is we have the privacy rules, but you also have to. So we can't really the data mining for usage is not really done. It's not done. But then again, it has to work for everyone. So inclusivity is very, very important. So you have to really think about usability, UX, but also there's a lot of people which might have troubles using the technology, but also they have to understand it. So it has to be as easy as possible to use. It has to be safe. So there's
Great, Martin. And also in one of our previous conversation, you mentioned given the market where your company is working, that especially compliance with legal and regulatory aspects is quite a challenge. Can you explain us a bit what are the type of actions that you are taking to simplify this challenge?
Yeah, so security is also in our DNA within our administration, and so all teams have auditing rules. So that there's the benchmark at the ISO standards, but in Holland we also have, for instance, if you want to connect with this digital identity, DGD, you have to meet certain standards which are audited every year. So we have to comply for that as well. And then there's also a national benchmark for security. They're all related heavily to the known standards, and of course they apply as well to the use of the cloud technologies for the teams, and it encompasses access management, incident management, change management, and so forth. So yeah, that's part of what we do. I think every body which develops and administers serious digital services have to meet those. But yet again, it's interesting that in Holland we have a baseline. We have a certain name for it. It relates to the national standards, but it's a bit off. So it's also interesting to see how we can match member state standards to each other. If we would work in a federated situation, so we need governance on those standards as well. That would be applicable, and they have to be clear. They have to be benchmarked, I guess, to the known standards, but they have to be adopted by the parties involved as well. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. And let's say, move toward the end of our interesting discussion. You have been involved in several activities with us, and probably through these activities and through your technical and business knowledge, you created yourself some vision of which changes are ahead of us in digital transformation and cloud computing in the next few years. Can you provide some insights to us?
Well, it's going to be very interesting because I think we really have to step up if we want to meet the European goals, because the market goes very, very fast. And what I do see is that within teams that developers which are used to the public cloud, they're also, lazy is not the right type of word, but they're used to a certain spread bet, so to speak. So we building private cloud, we're of course not as large as the big players. So we're building it differently, and we have to invest in the knowledge and of all the engineers involved, and also the developers which are using it. Really have to understand where we're coming from and where we want to go. So I think we have to keep investing in knowledge for the engineers, and with the open standards. Cloud Native Computing Federation, of course, is a known one. So I think that's still a challenge. I do know that, having said that, that there's also legislation coming whereby public cloud might be more willingly for parties in the Netherlands, which are part of the government. And I know that there's also talks with the known players about data protection and regions legislation involved there. So if we really want to achieve the goals that are part of the more federated vision, then we have to step up and try and speed up, because otherwise I think we might be a little bit late even.
Thank you very much, Martin, for the time you spent with us, and I wish you all the best for your challenge with Logius. And if you have any final statement, please feel free. And really thanks from the Horizon Cloud team for all the dedication and support you gave us.
Yeah, you're welcome, Federico. It's been a pleasure working with you, and I hope I know that the group is going forwards, and there's a lot of new tables being created as well. And I hope to even be more involved in the coming future, because I think we really need to be doing that. Yeah, glad to be part of it, and glad to speak to you in this forum.